Hey there guys, in today's video I wanted to talk about using Willow as a supplement for animals with chronic pain. Things that have arthritis, things that have joint pain associated with getting older. Willow can be a great supplement to help you take care of those animals. So if that's something you guys are interested in hearing more about, you want to make sure to stick around because that's going to be coming up right after this. This is Jack over at High Red Bird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about using Willow as a supplement for animals with chronic pain. Now, this is probably on my mind because you guys may have noticed I haven't been able to do videos for a couple of weeks. I'm actually just recovering from sinus surgery, which is probably why pain management is at the top of my list of things I wanted to talk about when it comes to taking care of your animals. Now, Willow is something that you can grow at home. You can grow it in the ground, you can grow it in containers, and you can use it periodically for your animals. Much the same way that people grow aloe vera at home to use for first aid on themselves, for burns, for cuts. Willow is a great option for your animals. Now, Willow is a natural anti-inflammatory. There is a chemical inside the bark that is going to act very, very similarly to how aspirin acts in the system. So it can be a great natural anti-inflammatory. Now, part of how it works is by thinning the blood. So if you have animals with arthritis, chronic joint pain, it can be a really good option for that. But if you have an animal that has something like an acute injury, a scratch, something that's bleeding, it probably isn't going to be a good option for that. Now, there are a couple of things to talk about before I show you guys some different ways to utilize Willow. First and foremost, you want to make sure that your Willow is not going to present any sort of risk to your animal. So first of all, you want to make sure that you have properly identified the plant that you are using as Willow. You want to make sure that it hasn't been treated with any pesticides, herbicides, fungicides that could present a secondary toxicity to your animal. You also want to make sure that when you cut your branches, the pieces that you are using, that they are not sharp, that there are no parts where your animal could hurt themselves. Now, there are a couple of different ways to use the Willow and a couple of things to bear in mind. First and foremost, Willow is a plant. So it's not going to help your carnivorous animals. Willow isn't something you can use to help cats. They actually might lightly chew on the leaves, but you're definitely not going to get the same benefit that you would for something like a parrot with long-term arthritis. So definitely just keep that in mind. Using Willow is going to be something geared more for your herbivorous animals. You want to make sure that you talk to your veterinarian about utilizing Willow as a regular part of their care, as a supplement to their care. Now, because it is a natural plant, it's going to be a much lower dosage than any of the medications your animal could be given for pain management. It isn't going to have the same risks as long-term medications, but it's also not going to have the same impact. And there is a possibility that the Willow, the chemicals found in the Willow, could react negatively with medications that your animal is being given. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am an animal care professional. I am not a veterinarian, so I cannot tell you what you need to do to take care of your animals other than you need to talk to your veterinarian. And your veterinarian, or any veterinarian, will not be able to help you figure that out unless they know more about your animal, unless they examine them. So Jeff, make sure that you're paying attention to things like that when it comes to providing supplements like this for your animals. They can be a great option to help improve the quality of your animal's life, but you definitely want to make sure you are doing that safely. Now, there are a lot of different herbivorous animals that can benefit from utilizing Willow as part of their care. And if you guys have an animal at home that you think could benefit from utilizing the Willow, please let me know in the comment section before what you think could benefit. But with that being said, I want to show you guys a couple of different ways that you can utilize that Willow for a variety of different animals. So the first and easiest way to provide Willow for your animals is just to give them big chunks of Willow. Here I have some cuttings of Willow that I am giving these sulcata tortoises. They're not going to be able to manipulate toys and other things that you might give to an animal like a parrot. So giving them a big chunk of Willow is honestly going to be one of the best ways to provide Willow for these animals. If you have animals that aren't really going to be good with toys or puzzles, but could benefit from Willow, this is usually going to be your best option. You can use this for things like these tortoises. I've used it for things like horses, goats, camels, alpacas. All of those are going to be really, really good options for utilizing this Willow. Now, if you don't want to use giant pieces of Willow, you can, of course, cut up smaller pieces of Willow and use them to make toys for smaller animals, things like parrots. Here I'm going to be using a finger trap just to hold everything together, and I'm going to be cutting some small pieces of Willow. Because I want this to fit inside the finger trap, you guys can see off of one branch, I'm going to get multiple pieces. Now the bark is going to be the main thing that is helpful and useful. It's the highest concentration of that anti-inflammatory agent, but using things like the leaves is also going to just make it enjoyable for animals like parrots. So here I've got a big chunk of cut branches. I'm just going to get a small bundle of them, and I am going to thread them through the finger trap. That way the finger trap will hold everything together, and my animals are going to have to work to pull individual pieces apart. They're going to chew them up. So they're going to be more likely to get the benefit of the anti-inflammatory chemicals that are found inside the bark. But of course, this can also just be a really, really fun way to give browse as a form of enrichment for your animals. You can use this with other types of browse other than Willow. And by browse, I just mean cuttings of edible plants. But this is a great way to provide this for your animals that can help contain the mess, make it easy to do. The other benefit of giving a foot toy to an animal with arthritis, not only are you giving them that Willow to help with a natural anti-inflammatory effect, but that exercise and flexion of their feet can be a great option for helping with their pain, their arthritis. Now, if you have pieces of Willow, you can, of course, just drill through them, string them on a chain, string them on a rope, a skewer. If you're giving that to your animal right away, you can definitely just use it as is. If you want to make sure those pieces can stay a little bit longer, you're going to want to dry them out. I've actually put together a video showing you guys how to dry out wood pieces so you can avoid things like mold and mildew. So there's a couple of different options that you have here when it comes to utilizing the Willow as a form of enrichment for your animals. So as you guys can see, there are a lot of different ways that you can utilize that Willow, a lot of different animals you can use it for. So again, if you guys have an animal at home that you think this could benefit, please let us know in the comment section down below what animal you're going to be using that for. I think other people seeing what people are doing with their animals, what animals they're taking care of and providing for, definitely helps to give a sense of camaraderie, that understanding that there are other people that are facing the same challenges you are, and that those challenges are not insurmountable. Especially when you think about a subject like this, you're going to be looking at animals that are older. They might have arthritis, they might have long-term joint pain, and dealing with those issues can often feel like a losing battle, because while there are a great many injuries and maladies that we can work to overcome, aging simply isn't one of them. You can't fix aging. Instead, you can work to make your animals as comfortable as possible as they get older. And I think knowing that other people are facing those same challenges will definitely help people out when they watch videos like this. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have not already, you want to make sure you subscribe to the Hi Redbird YouTube channel. There are quite a few people that watch these videos that are not yet subscribed. If you subscribe to the channel, not only does that help you ensure you won't miss any of these videos, but it also helps YouTube recognize that these videos could be potentially useful to people. And I think that definitely could help people out if they're facing situations like this. If you guys like this video, you want to make sure you give it a thumbs up. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.
I do need to say a special thank you to my patrons on Patreon. By signing up to support this channel, they help me make more tutorials and videos showcasing animal care possible. If you'd like to find out more about subscribing to my Patreon, you can find the link in the description section down below. Thanks so much.